Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Women's Show. We are joined again by Kira Knox, who's here to show us all their expertise. No pressure, no pressure. The last time we were here, there was a bit of a break, wasn't there? So England went to play, and we were all very excited about Jess Parks getting an opportunity for England, and she didn't play a single minute in the two games.
No. So obviously she did get called up to play against the world champions, and we won that game 2-1, and we were all expecting her to at least make a debut. It's coming on as a sub, maybe towards the end, or against, was it Czech Republic? I think it was Czech Republic. Yeah. And she didn't. Yeah. But it was good that she got the call up.
Yeah, it was good she got the call up, and the USA is a tough game, and England obviously won that game at Wembley. It was a fantastic occasion, and although the goal that was disallowed for America by VAR was a little bit strange. But then you say they played against Czech Republic, drew 0-0, and she couldn't get off the bench. And for two games that were just friendlies, I found that a little bit strange, considering that there's a lot of hype about her, and she did get called up. You would have thought they would have given her a little bit of a chance just to get 10 minutes under the belt.
And she showcased so much talent already in this season so far, so you would have thought she maybe, even if she just come on the last 10 minutes as a sub and got that chance, but never came.
No, but I suppose now that gives it a little bit of a taste, doesn't it, of what it's to be like to be in the England side. And listen, England are the European champions. They've just beat the world champions, and will go into the next World Cup thinking we've got a really good chance. So it is exciting for her that she's there and she's part of the squad.
Yeah, I just hope she gets a debut soon, because she really, really deserves it, especially as you saw the goal again at Anfield. Yeah. Like, that just wraps up what she is about and what she can do.
Yeah, well, let's just hope she's still at Everton.
Yeah.
Let's hope she's still let Man City just extend that loan another year. Yeah. Just give the girl a chance.
Well, we've had other people that have come in on loan and have loved it and wanted to stay. Like Jill Scott, she come in. She obviously played for us for years, and then come in from loan from Man City and wanted to stay, and they wouldn't let her.
No, she's too busy with a coffee shop now, though, isn't she? She's retired, obviously now. Yeah. Hopefully she gets an opportunity. But the women's team did come back last Sunday afternoon at home at Walton Old Park. You were there. They played Chelsea, obviously a very, very tough game. Chelsea are obviously the top side in the division, and it looked like it was a close game, wasn't it, for most of the game? Obviously Chelsea took the lead, Everton got back into it, but in the end it was a 3-1 defeat with a very, very late goal to make it 3-1 as well. Yeah,
especially the first half, we played so well and we looked really strong. And Catherine Veggie, I might not be saying that right again. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, because I'm really bad at
pronouncing things. Do you know the best way to find out what someone's name is?
Yeah.
Just go over and ask them. It's what I did. No, when Everton signed Luca Dean, I went over to him and went, "How do you say your name?" And he told me, and that was it. Job done.
I didn't really need to.
That's the best way.
But she was incredible the whole entire game. Yeah. The whole game, she was up and down the wing constantly, always like creating chances, and I love watching her play. She was incredible. Gabby George did really well again. Now,
you told me that last time out that Gabby George was Everton's best player, and I stupidly, my ignorance, and this is why you're here, I thought playing centre back, going, that's her position, but she's not playing centre back, is she?
No.
Just explain to us where she's playing now.
So she is playing left wing back at the moment, or left back. She's playing all sorts of different positions at this point, but she is such a versatile player and can play in different positions and does really well for the club doing that.
Yeah, because I remember, obviously she was a centre-back, and then she got a really bad injury just when it looked like she was about to sort of burst on the scene, and I know a few of the other clubs out there were sniffing around her as well, so that was disappointing. But I think there's been about 3 different managers since she got that injury, so I can understand maybe why she's found herself in a different position, but it shows how good a player is. You said it last time, and it shows how good a player is. She can fill in another role, and she's doing well there.
She is doing really well, and obviously to see her come back from that injury was incredible, because she was out for like over a year, I think. And she's come back so much stronger now, and obviously she got called up for the English squad a few times, not for the Euros unfortunately, but she has been called up, and she's improving every game, and it's really good to see.
And obviously the Everton goal was an own goal. That's the second game in a row that Everton have benefited from an own goal.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tony Duggan's going to be out for the rest of the season. She's pregnant. That's a fair excuse. is that a little problem, do you think, that Everton might have scoring goals? Because, okay, we scored 3 at Anfield, and that was brilliant, but it was an own goal against Leicester, it was an own goal against Chelsea. Do you think that might be a little issue that might need to be addressed?
Yeah, because what we were lacking last season was pace up front.
Yeah.
Like Toni Duggan, she's incredible. She's such an incredible player, but she didn't have that pace, and we needed wingers with that pace to help her.
Yeah.
And now we've got that, and now she's out for the season. Now we've got Katja Snoejes as well, who's currently out with an injury. I don't know how long she is going to be out for, but Elise Stenovic, I think, come in last week, and she was very good. She was very, very good. But it is that pace we are lacking up front now. Because
I think Benison, who obviously scored at Anfield, she's a bit more of a technical player. She is the number 10, isn't she? And you know, I think we've seen in any game, in any level of football, whatever, pace is always the key. It can always be the key to the game. But Chelsea is such a strong side, aren't they? They are. They've got so many really good players. Obviously, Sam Kerr, who's, you know, their major striker. They're such a difficult team to beat. And Everton, this is where Everton have struggled, I think, in the last couple of years, isn't it? Or say in the last 2-3 years is. I know they tried really hard last season by bringing lots of people in, but the closing that gap to Arsenal and Chelsea, again, very much like any Everton side, this seems to be just a little bit of a bridge too far trying to compete with those teams.
We've got to realise what level we are on, and we've got to realise that we were very close to relegation last season, and people have got to realise that it's going to take time for us, like the men's.
I was going to say, which team were you talking about?
But it is going to take time, just like the men's team, to build on that and improve. And obviously we can't be straight away competing with the top teams. You can't be expecting to beat them constantly.
Yeah. Do you think that's more difficult because the league is only, it's like 12 teams, isn't it? So it feels like, to me, almost every week when you look at the fixtures, they're playing like a really tough side. It just, because of the there's less teams in it, it just feels like if you're playing an Arsenal or a Chelsea or Manchester United have improved loads. Man City, a good team. Villa, who haven't played this weekend, we'll speak about them. They've improved. It just feels like every week's a really tough game.
It is, but we've got to realise that we do have quality players, and we do have that quality in our side to beat these bigger teams. So people have got to realise that we can do it. Yeah. And we can show that ability that we have. Yeah, and I think last season it was so, I don't know. You're right, because last season they tried to jump about 12 steps at once. Yeah. Buying all those players in, and then Willie Kirk was, I don't know if they were all Willie Kirk's players or whatever, but he seemed to have just players all over the place, and then I think we went through a couple of more managers during the season. This season it seems a lot more calmer. I think there's less expectation, but I think that's better. Yeah. But you were at the game. Obviously, it was a sellout at Walton Park. People are really excited, aren't they now? And what was it like down there? Oh my God, it was incredible. There was so much noise and it was the best atmosphere I think I've seen at Walton Park. And Chelsea brought so many fans. Did they? Yeah, there was loads, and they were dead loud, and they'd start singing, and our lot would be fuming, so they'd start singing, and it was so good. So I mean, this is something that Ian Wright had mentioned, because he loves the women's game. He's such a champion for the women's game, and I think I remember him during the Euros when the final was on, and he was talking about the game needed more money put into it, and things like the fixtures needed sorting out. But one of the things he actually said was, and it was in reference to Walton Park, I think he said, they needed to start having away-ins so that the away fans knew where to go. And I've noticed this, that more and more fans are travelling. I know the Everton women's supporter group go, and I know the likes of Peter Mack and people like that go travel all over, and they went to games in the Euros like yourself to support the Swedish girls. And do you think that's something that needs to be the next sort of the next place we go with it? Because Everton have obviously one of only a couple of teams who've got their own grounds. Do you think? Would you like to see an away end, just so that not in terms of like, you know, anyone is in danger or anything, but just so that the away fans know where they are, the home fans know where they, and you can build that atmosphere? I think away end would be good, because you can obviously have that rivalry between the fans, but I also like having it all mixed in, because you can talk to the other fans, and you can, you know, discuss what they think about their team, what you think about your team, and I kind of like that sort of atmosphere.
That's nice. That's a very grown-up way of thinking about it. That's a really good point, though, because you do. We are football is one of the only sports at any level where like you do keep the home and the away fans together. Like if you watch like American sports, they don't tend to do that. And I noticed that for the Wembley game, there was obviously US fans all over the place as well.
Yeah.
And there is that. There is that togetherness. I don't know how long that'll last, because if the game grows, those rivalries will get bigger, and people will want their own ends. And I do think, but one thing I do think it helps the atmosphere if you've got fans in their own area, so they can congregate, and do you know what I mean? They can start singing and everything. But it was a 3-1. It was disappointing. But Everton will move on, and obviously this weekend Everton are away to Villa, who've started the season really well, and they've brought some new players in, and they've got some ex-Everton players in their team as well.
Yeah. So Simone McGill, Ken Zadali, and of course our former club captain Danielle Turner went to Aston Villa, which is quite a big disappointment, to be fair, because Simone McGill had been there for absolutely years, and she was a really good player for us.
But she got a knee injury, didn't she, in the Euros, so she's not available. I think she'd waited years to play in the Euros for Northern Ireland. I think it was the first game she got a really serious knee injury, so she won't be available, and that's really, really sad. But as you mentioned, like Dan said, Everton losing a player like that, and obviously we'll face it on this weekend. That's sad, isn't it? Yeah,
it really is. But she was a very good player for us, and I'm sure she's going to do really well for Villa. But again, we have got now quality players at the back that can come up against Villa, and I'm sure we'll be okay. Yeah,
and it's a difficult game. They've invested really well, and they've obviously got Alicia Lehman as well, who was on loan at Everton from West Ham. She's there as well. So I think that's like 4 different players, and Everton have always had this thing, haven't they, where you look at every team, and you looked at the Euros team, the England team. They've got players who, have played for Everton at various. I know there's not loads of teams, but Everton just seem to be this team where players go through, so not always to the top, but at some stage in their career they've been at Everton and unfortunately had to move on.
Yeah, we have had some amazing players like Alex Greenwood, Lucy Bronze, Nikita Paris. They've all come through the academy and played for us at different stages, and they've done so well, obviously, with the Lionesses. And it is really good to see, as we have developed those players, we can develop more, and we are going to get more quality out of our players, I think.
Yeah, I think Everton have got a really good, have always had a really good youth system, and give the opportunity to girls and young women to get involved. So, but this is going to be a tough game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Villa have got a really good striker as well, who's just signed from America. So I'm failing on her name. Come on,
Rachel Daly.
There you go. See, that's why you're here. That's why I've just set you up for that. She was at Houston, wasn't she? And, She looks like a really top talent.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm going to put it out there, I am really worried to come up against her, because she seems to have scored in every game, and she's so strong up front, and we have got a good defence, but she is just an incredible player. Yeah.
Do you think Villa have almost tried to copy, in a way, what we did last season? Because obviously that last season, I think they were in and around where Everton were, sort of a little bit higher. I think, in fact, towards the end of the season, I think they were jostling for places, but this summer they seem to have made a lot of investment. Do you think they are sensing maybe that one of those European places is available?
Yeah, I think they are, because obviously last season, as you said, we were fighting relegation with them. So obviously for them to take some of our players and then get new players in, we are quite strong competition with them. Yeah. So they have, in a way, followed what we've done and got new players in and like a whole new system.
Well, it's going to be a tough game, and I think they've already beaten Man City this season. They've got, I think that finished 4-3, something like that. They've got a lot of goals in them. Everton come up against a lot of their former players as well. So have you got a prediction for this one?
Oh God, I'm going to say 2-2.
That's always my go-to when I think we're going to get beat as well. No, it'd be a tough game, but Everton have done all right this season. I think I think the team who are top have got 9 points, Everton have got 6 points, so they're doing fine. Yeah. And let's hope they get 3 points. And then what's the next home game after this? So
Aston Villa.
Is that the next home game as well?
Yeah, it's Wednesday the 26th of October in the Continental Cup.
Oh, so it's like the League Cup, isn't it? And obviously the women's game will be getting played, I imagine, whilst the men's World Cup's on, isn't it, as well? So that's a good opportunity, isn't it, for people who may be missing football to go and go down and watch it if they want to watch Everton in football. And obviously, the reason I mentioned that as well, because we will try and talk before that, the reason I mentioned that is because the game against Chelsea was sold out, wasn't it? So if people do want to go, don't think you can just rock up at Walton Moor Park and get in. And hopefully, I hope during the World Cup as well, there might be an opportunity for Everton to play Goodison as well.
Yeah.
So that would be good. Yeah. Hopefully, get more people into the ground and see this new, fresh, exciting Everton women's team. So there you go. Kira, again, absolutely fantastic, giving us all the latest news on Everton women. Make sure you check out the Everton women's Twitter account and all that kind of thing to follow what's going on with Everton Villa this weekend. And if you want more news on Everton women, check out, what's the hashtag? It's Barclays WSL, I think it is. So you'll find out all the news if you want to get involved for tickets and everything. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.